Hi guys, it's your girl Natalie, the one true diamond, and I am coming at you with my D2s 366 day challenge. Today is Saturday, June the 18th, and I am on day 170. I am on 170 days of continuous working out for 25 straight minutes. Whoop whoop! Yes, I'm happy. I'm happy. I am happy. I'm on 170. I have stuck with it. Today I feel so much better, you guys. I mean, still that monthly crampy, but not like I was with the severe pain. So I just thank God that that has moved on. It has released. It's done whatever it wanted to do. Because it actually felt like it was ripping my insides out and everything was hanging down below, and I was going to have to go and get it pushed back up. That's what it felt like. So I just thank God that I'm through that part. Yes, I'm through that part. And so I'm just glad that is over with. Like I said, I'm on day 170. Just got finished working out. I did the treadmill today, and I'm gonna show y'all my stats because I need to get off here and get things done. I need to do some straightening up. My girlfriend, well, I call her my girlfriend because she was my very first friend in the whole wide world, and we have remained friends through all these years. We always been cousins, but she lived what we call like a ways from me. It wasn't like I could walk to her house or she could walk to my house because she lived a long way. Not a long way away. We were in the same community, but it was too far for a child to walk to see one another. Let's put it that way. But then her mom built a house like right up the street from my house. Hold on, guys. Okay, so I'm back. So her mom built a house right up the street from our house. So we became very best friends. We saw each other every day. We rode the same school bus now. And, we just became very good friends. Well, and we're cousins anyway. So her aunt Nellie passed. So I grew up knowing Miss Nellie. As well as going to school with her son, and I knew her oldest daughter. Her oldest daughter was older than me, but I knew her just from being that she had done gone off to college and stuff, and I was still going through, high school. I mean, middle school, high school. So I kind of knew her that way, but I knew her. Okay, well, their mom passed away, and her funeral is today at 2 o'clock. So I want to go there to show my respects. I don't feel like going out of the house today. I don't really feel like going to a funeral. I don't do well at funerals. I hate funerals. And I mean, who does like them? But even if it's not my very, my immediate family, I still hate them because I just, I don't like going. But, I had sent her a text message and telling her, anything I could do, just let me know, blah, blah. We don't live in the same area now, but we're not too far away from each other. And then she texted me back that when the funeral was. So I just feel like I need to go to show my respects. Like I said, I just hate going to funerals. It seems like it's just still kind of too soon from with my dad, and I just don't. I don't do well at funerals at all. So I'm just leave it at that. But anyway, I got to go to a funeral today. So I got to gear myself up and push myself into getting, like, you got to go, you got to get dressed, you got to get out of here, you got to go hit on, you got to go. So, yeah. So that's why I'm kind of rushing so I can get things done around the house as well as be ready to leave out of the house when I need to leave out of the house, okay? So, I worked out for 25 minutes, 14 seconds. 2,412 steps, 0.98 mile. I had a very slow walk today. As y'all can see, I didn't even do a whole mile. 138 was my average heart rate. 171 was the max. 265 calories. Okay. And that is my results. And of course, let's see if I. It's June the 18th. Okay. All right. So I went and got my nails done yesterday, and that girl looked like she cut them down to nubs. I don't like my nails looking like that. Do y'all see that? It's nothing. I know this one had broken, but she wanted. I cut them down so they be even. I'm like, why you always want to cut? I don't care that they're not even, you know. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm nubby. I don't like my fingers when they look like this. I really don't. I like to have just. I don't like them long because where I work at, we really aren't supposed to have them over our. This is really the proper length for where I work at in nursing, but we don't do any nursing care. We talk you to death. We don't put our hands on you, nothing, you know, except for the hand you a book and a soap. That's it. We don't do it. I retract that. I do when a patient come in, if they have a port under their skin, like in their chest. Um, I have done one that had them in their arm because they couldn't do the chest. But anyway, it's under their skin. Sometimes, like if they're getting chemo or long extensive antibiotics for some reason, they will put these ports, infuser ports, under the skin, and you know I will draw off of that port. That's about the most that we do right now. That's about the most skills we do now. We do more assessing, more things. I need to go back to school and get my nurse practitioner license or something because that is exactly how they have us operating like. You know, it's like, anyway, I'm just so glad it's the weekend. I know this is not the video for, but I kind of talk about anything everywhere, so you get a little bit of everything. I had one of the worst weeks, okay? Well, not worst weeks, but Friday was terrible for me. And let me tell y'all, first of all, my manager, I was in charge on Friday. And first of all, okay, Thursday, let me go back and give y'all a little background. Thursday, I had a patient. We have this anesthesia screening that we do where the nurse goes in, she talks with the patient, she sees what's going on, and then we decide what tests or lab work this patient is going to need based on their diagnosis, based on what they told us, based on how their appearance looks today. Because sometimes people think they can do things that they can't do, but you can physically tell when they're walking that, hey, this person cannot do that. Okay? Okay. So, anyway, we take all of that assessment skills that we are taught, okay? There's a protocol that the anesthesiologists have set out. If they have this and this and this, then you need to do this and this and this test, this and this, do this and this and this. Or if it's this, but it hasn't been active in 5 years, 2 years, if there's nothing going on now, you won't get this because it's not necessarily. They're probably fine, you know. So, anyway, that's the protocol that we have to go by. And so with this one particular gentleman I had, he was young. He was younger than I was. He was like 42 years old, just had hypertension, just on a blood pressure medicine, nothing else going on. Well, the patient had went through, and granted, it takes about 45 minutes to an hour for a person to register, come through the nurse, go get your lab work, and go, okay? That long of a time, okay? You see what I'm saying? That long of a time with patients here. We don't keep them any longer than 90 minutes. That's our goal, to get them in and out in 90 minutes, okay? This man probably was here maybe for, I'm going to say an hour. I'm going to give him an hour. He probably was there. From that time on, the nurse practitioner that we have that works with anesthesiologists could not look at this man's chart, could not say such and such. The man had gone, I mean literally gone, and she's going to come call them and tell them that the man needs to get an EKG. I'm like, for what? I said to him, there was nothing going on with this man. Why is he getting an EKG? Anyway, we had to call this guy back. Luckily, he hadn't got too far down the street, and he turned around and came back, which made us looking competent. We're telling you, you can go, and then here we go saying, no, you need to get an EKG. That made us look stupid, okay, for starters. Another thing, why couldn't you just call down and say, this is what, I'm checking the chart. Don't let the patient go till I tell you that I don't feel like they need anything. Do that. You know, and she does it all the time, and we're calling people back constantly, and it's ridiculous, and it's embarrassing to me. I don't like that. I do not like that. So I told my manager, I'm like, okay, I feel like if she's looking in charts, she needs to say, don't let this person go until, because I'm looking through the chart. Don't let them go yet, you know, until I make my final decision of something that I would say. Okay, or I would do. And even my manager's like, well, I don't see why we would have done it per protocol. You wouldn't have done it. But lo and behold, I got a call yesterday. Can you come in the office? Oh, you're not in trouble. I just want to talk with you. I get in there. It's her, the assistant manager, and the nurse practitioner. She threw me under the bus for one. For one, she don't know me because I'm not afraid to talk, and I'm not going to back down to anybody. If I feel something, I'm going to say it, and she should know that by now. I'm telling you guys. She should know. I'm not afraid. I will tell her how I feel. I will tell the assistant nurse manager how I feel. They all know that I do not bridle my tongue. I do not hold back. No, I'm not a nasty person. I'm not bitter. I'm not always causing trouble. I come to work. I do my job. That's me. But I'm not afraid to tell you how I feel. And everybody in the building knows that. So I don't know why you would think that if you three were going to confront me about it, that my thoughts was going to change. It was not. But I was very nice. I was very professional. I listened to this lady. And I thought maybe Ann should tell you why, the reasoning why, as if I was the only one saying something. Granted, there were 3 other nurses in that room who was talking about them. All the other 2 was there. Care partner was there. Everybody who was discussing how she has had them to call patients back were in that room talking to her, but I was the only one that she singled out to come in so Ann could explain to me her reasoning behind doing something, which really made me hot. I was so mad sitting in that chair that I could have just blinked my eye and the whole room would have blew up. Everybody would have been caramelized. Not caramelized, but crystallized. I'm thinking like, you blew, and we all would have. That's just how mad I was. But I held it together. I let her tell her excuse, and I said, I understand what you're saying, but my thing is, we had to call a patient back in. If you're in that chart, do the common courtesy to say, I'm going through this chart. Don't let the patient go until I've said such and such and such a thing. Well, we've come up with a thing. And then my assistant nurse manager, who's always talking about this lady, always got something negative to say about her, had the nerve to come out of her mouth. I was like, really? No, you're not trying to throw me under the bus and back up and make sure you hit me really twice. So she tells the lady, she's like, well, she was busy with another patient, so that's why she was behind. I'm looking like this. I said, still, we had to call the patient back. It made us look incompetent. Oh, I appreciate you looking out for the patient and their best. Like, that was a throw off to me. Like, yeah, you're really looking out for the patient. That's how I took it. And if I'm wrong, I ask God to forgive me about it. But, it started out with that. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go back because I got a doctor who's going to be calling me back. I'm waiting on some orders because I'm wanting to let you know I'm not interested in this, what you're going to do. Whatever you're going to do it. Poof, be gone. Let me go. I'm through with this situation. It's over with. And that's how I kind of left. And then they trying to laugh. Pull the door right in. Don't. I'm not laughing. So she kept trying to call all day long, like trying to laugh. Don't me, because you're going to get a flat affect, and that's what you got, and you knew it, okay? So then they're going to come. First, the assistant nurse manager going to come. They were on me hard yesterday, you guys. I'm telling you. I was to the point like, this is it. It's time for me to move on. Time for a new job, but I got to get my house first. I ain't fooling with these folks. I'm going to stay here till I get my house because I want to change positions and all that. I'm going to stay within the hospital system because I've been there 15 years. I only got 15 more years and I can retire. Okay, so I'm going to stay within the system, but I'm going to be looking for something else. It won't, my retirement days, unless something changes, God comes in and moves these blocks out of my way, I won't be here unless God come down and say, Natalie, this is where I want you to retire. This is where I want you to be. I got plans for you here in this building. This is where you need to stay put. If I get that from God, then yeah, if every door I go to or avenue I try to go to, I'm blocked, then I know God is saying, I want you here for a while. I know some people are like, you said God talked. God will show you things in different ways. That's a whole new series, okay? So the assistant nurse manager called me, and she sent me an IM. We have this thing called Jabber. So she jabbered me a message about people being on the phones. So I told her, I just gave this nurse a patient, this nurse got a patient, this nurse is on the phone, this nurse got a patient. The other nurse flexed down and went home. So then she said, so this person went home? No, I just told you she had a patient. Well, I hope she did a lot of phones because she should have been through it black box. No, she got through it black box 30 to 40 minutes ago. She said she had a lot of stuff to contact the doctors about. She got finished with it at that time. What? Y'all need to let me know, because these people need, why am I keeping tabs on what they're doing? You gave them that job to do that, so you should know whether they are done or not. I am her. Ask her what's taking her so long. Don't put that on me. My pressure is to keep the flow of that clinic going right, troubleshoot, contact any doctors, not to look behind grown people and say, hey, why aren't you working? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you moving at this speed? You know these people been operating at this speed for years. And then that wasn't good enough. The manager came. First she walked back there looking. I guess she was going to go see what's going on. I passed her going to the bathroom. On my way back from the bathroom, I passed her going back in her office. She never said a word to me, but when I get back there, the nursing assistant was like, did such and such see you? I'm like, no, I passed her twice coming back here. She just come back here to see what's going on with everybody doing anything, is what she came back here for. So, then she come back there and she just kept standing over me like, I said, Jane, what is it? What is it you want to say? I said, spit it out. And I said it just like that. Because don't huff over my shoulder. And then her lips is all quivering like she wants to say something and scared to say it. You the manager. Don't be scared, honey. Don't be scared, boo-boo. Go on and spit it out. You can't be in management and be scared. So she's come out there and she started asking me, how do you feel people are doing on the phone? I said, I feel like right now we have got the best staff we have ever had, and we have, because we've got rid of some lazy ones, and they're gone. So there is some that do work slow, but that's because they want to be more thorough than others. And then you got some that's going to breach and ain't going to put half the information in the chart. You got those. But the ones that were there yesterday were the ones that I know do a good job. Their charts are good. I don't have to worry about them. I know that they do. Okay? So what she wanted me to do was name people so you can roll me under the bus again like you did with Ann. I will never name anybody for you. Never name anyone for you. Never. You would never. Even if you hadn't thrown me under the bus this morning, I would never call people out because I'm not that type of person. I will tell you, this is how I do it. That's the only person I can attest to. You need to go and ask them. I kept telling her, go ask them what is taking them so long with doing stuff, because I cannot tell you. I can tell you how I do my assessments. And when we're doing phones, I look up information. I try to call the patient. If I cannot get the patient, then guess what? I got to start back, going through another chart, getting information, and go. So I said, yes, sometimes it makes it look like if I'm not getting anybody that it's an extended amount of time, I'm sitting and doing nothing, when actually that's not true. I'm going through the chart, I'm getting my information, but when I get the person, I don't reach them, so that information has just sat there. So now I got to go to another one and get information, because I'm not going to call a patient blindly, not knowing anything about them. I like to have a little something so that when I'm talking to them, the phone call flows smoothly, and it goes quicker when I know something, because I can say, well, what about such and such? Because sometimes people forget to tell you things, but if you know a little something, it can flow easily. You can kind of know what you're expecting and how you're going to talk to this person. But it was like, I don't know, it was like they were on me hard. And I know she was mad. You could see when somebody's neck all red. Her neck was all red, honey. She was mad at this sister child, but I was very calm. I didn't argue. Like, I'm kind of raising my voice when I'm talking to y'all because I'm venting. But I was not. And when she left, the care partner that was at the desk, she stood up. She said, I bow to you. She said, because you done excellent. She said, I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have handled it that way. She said, I really need to learn how to handle stuff that way. She said, but she said, you were excellent. And before she left, she hugged me. She said, I am so proud of you. She said, you done excellent. And that's the thing about me. I am a raging storm on the inside, because I was a raging storm on the inside. But I have an outer appearance that it will not ever, I mean, you'll know I'm upset, but you won't know it's to the point of what, like, I will whoop you and walk out of here. That's the kind of rage that was rolling up on the inside of me. I wanted to say, and I don't even know how to cuss. When I were cussing in the world, it was always backwards. I never cuss right. You know how some of y'all curse words flow good. I could never cuss right. It was always a backwards curse. But anyway, like matching up words that didn't go right with the thing. Yeah, that's my kind. I was not a cursor. But anyway, you know, it's one of them, like, I want to cuss you out even though it's backwards or whatever. That's the rage that was on the inside of me. But I held it. I thank God for that I thank God for that ability. I thank God for that ability because most people couldn't, and it would have been something big that brewed up, and I could have been fired, lost my job, and here we go. You know, could have ruined retirement benefits, could have ruined my chance to get in a house, all those things. But you know, so yeah, so I just had a bad Friday, and I just kind of wanted to just sit around and not do anything. I just don't want to think about going or being out around people because of this, but I can't soak in it because I got to go back to work Monday. So I need to get it off and get it out my system. So when I go Monday, I don't have an attitude when I see you because I'm still mad at you for that, you know. And so, you know, I went around, kept telling the nurses, you know, get on the phone, get on the phone. They're looking at me like, we are on the phones, we are doing phone, we're working on phones. When you told us that, you know, so they think that they want to make the charge nurse look like the bad person. No, Sister Child. And I told her, I said, you can take me off a charge. I said, and put me back in the room. Let me do my nursing work and only have to worry about me. I said, if that's what y'all want the charge nurse to do, go around, right steady babysitting, telling people to do this, get on this, get on this, take me off a charge, train somebody else, and put me back in the room. I'm fine with that. I am seriously fine with them doing that, you know. So I have realized I have really got to go back to school. This girl who comes over on Wednesdays, she's like, girl, I told you you need to apply over here. This is before all this happened. She's been trying to get me to come over there, but I don't have my BSN. I only have an associate's degree in nursing. So in order to have that particular job, you have to have a BSN or a master's. And I have put it off so long to go back to school to do those things that I just have not done it. So I really need to concentrate. I want to get in my house and get settled, and then I want to go back to school and really get my BSN, my master's, because I don't want to stay in this particular position. I really want to teach, and I can't get anything teaching with an associate's degree unless I go to like a community college and I could teach like LPN classes, or I could teach CNA classes, which there's nothing wrong with that. But in order to be able to teach like I want to teach, I would most definitely need a bachelor's or a master's degree to teach like I want to teach. So that's what I want to do in my older years, you know. And I want to be on the floor all the time. And, you know, there's teaching positions, there's educational nurses right within the hospital system where I work at, because this is a big teaching hospital. So, you know, I could still stay at my job here and still do my final retirement days out in the education department. And that is what I want to do. So I really need to concentrate on getting back in school and making time for that, because, you know, and even though now this late in the game, I don't want any more bills or any more funds or having to pay out money or getting loans to go back to school and all this kind of stuff. I don't want all that. So but anyway, I'm going to get off here for now. I'll see you guys in my next video. Thanks for listening to my rant. I will talk with you later. Bye, y'all.